నమస్కారం. ఈరోజు ఒక ఎమినెంట్ స్పీకర్ మన విజయ్ భవ ఛానల్కు ముఖ్య అతిథిగా వచ్చేస్తున్నారు. ప్రస్తుతం మనం చాలా ఇబ్బందికర పరిస్థితిలో ఉన్నాం. గత మార్చి నుంచి సుమారుగా 15-16 నెలలు ప్రజలంతా కూడా ఒక రకమైన భయము, ఒక రకమైనటువంటి అపోహ, ఆందోళనలో, ఆప్తులు, దగ్గర వారు కూడా ప్రాణాలని కోల్పోవటం జరిగింది. మరి ఇలాంటి పాండమిక్ సిచ్యువేషన్లో ఎలా మెంటల్ స్ట్రెంగ్త్ని పెంపొందించుకోవాలి, మరి ఎలా మనం ప్రస్తుత సిచ్యువేషన్స్ లో మెలగాలి అనే విషయాన్ని చెప్పడానికి సుమిత రాయ్ గారు వచ్చేసి ఉన్నారు ముఖ్య అతిథిగా. వారికి స్వాగతం, సుస్వాగతం. నమస్కారం.
Should I start?
Okay.
Namaste to everybody and greetings. I'm very happy that Vijay Bhava channel is arranging for you these talks. It is very essential for us to communicate, to exchange our ideas so that all of us can have some idea about how to handle this difficult situation. None of us has had an experience of the pandemic before this. This is the first experience for all people who are in the world today, because the earlier pandemic was 100 years ago. Therefore, we are finding it very difficult. People are always talking about the physical health. They are saying wear a mask. They are also saying keep physical distance 2 meters, stay at home. But remember that apart from physical illness, there is also a huge mental problem in the pandemic. We find that equally we have to look after physical health and mental health. That is why I thought, let us talk about the mental strength which we need in the pandemic. All of us require to think about it, and we need to practice it also. Please remember that unless we practice this, no use listening to me. If you listen, it is not enough. You have to practice. So what will you do? A few things you have to first have. One is you have to have hope. Always, hope is the best way of encountering any problem in life. As long as we have hope, we do not get depression. As long as we have hope, we can look towards the future and do some great things at the present so that the future becomes better. Then we have to have faith. In India, this is very easy because almost all of us have faith in God. Swami Vivekananda says, have faith in yourself before you have faith in God. Have self-confidence. So that also is faith. Then you have to have faith in others. What does that mean? It means that we have to trust each other. We should not be suspicious of each other. We should not say bad things about each other. So hope and faith. And the third is selflessness. We should not be selfish. In a pandemic, we cannot survive if we are selfish. We have to think of others. We have to share everything we have with others. You have to, if you are good at something, you have to give that to others. You have money, you give it to them. You don't have money, you give your prayers. If you give your good wishes, if you can talk, give it to them. If you have something which is extra, some gift which God has given you, share it with everybody. So that is selflessness. We have to be selfless. We have to think of others. So these three qualities all of us need to have. You must remember that everybody has physical energy and mental energy. All of us have mental energy. Like, we are using energy now. If there is electricity, I can communicate with you because I need my laptop, I need the Wi-Fi. All these things are run by energy. And what is that energy? It is electrical energy. If the current goes off, like Sir was saying, there's no current today there. So you don't have any of these facilities. So energy is most important. If your body or your mind has to do anything, it has to have the correct amount of energy. It has to give that energy towards good things. So you now see how much physical energy you have. Everybody says we have so much energy, but we can't use it because lockdown. We are staying at home. We can't use our energy. We can't go out. We can't go to colleges. We can't go to work. So we have, physical energy is going waste. But can we use it better? Can we use it in such a way that it will benefit the body? Yes, we can. But today I'm not talking about the physical dimension that a medical doctor will tell you. I'm talking only about the mind. So see your mental energy. Our mental energy is very powerful. God has given supercomputer. If you look at your mind, it is so powerful. It is so sharp. It is so full of energy. And it has a lot of capability. Just like your laptop or your smartphone can do so many things. Earlier we had that phone which we had to turn and only we could talk on the phone. We could not do anything. Today, if you have a smartphone, you can take photographs. You can chat on social media. You can do, PowerPoint presentation. You can connect with Zoom. Anything can be done by one single instrument because you're giving it that much energy. So your mind is like that. Your mind is capable of doing many things if you use that energy properly. That is mental strength. We are making the energy strong. But if you don't make that energy strong, what happens is that your mind becomes weak. And that weak mind in the pandemic is very dangerous. People who have a weak mind today are suffering a lot. They are suffering much more than the COVID patient. The COVID patient is suffering terribly. There is, illness, there is pain, there is death. You can't breathe, you can't smell, you can't taste. So many problems, physical problems. But what about the mental problems? People are hurting each other. They are fighting with each other. In the family, they are shouting at each other. They are harming people. They are hitting their pet dog or pet cat. And, they are sometimes committing suicide also. So what happened to them? They lost their mental strength. So that is why we need mental strength. I would like to tell you some examples of mental strength, and then I will tell you how you can build your mental strength. Look at the example of Jesus Christ. What mental strength he had. When they pinned him to the cross, they put his arms and his legs, they put nails and blood was coming out. He was in great pain. But did he curse anybody? Did he feel depressed? He did not. He said, Father, forgive these people because they do not know what they are doing. Don't punish them, although they are torturing me. Don't punish them. See how much mental strength is required? This is mental strength. It comes from using your thoughts in proper direction, positive direction. Look at the great Gautama Buddha. He was the son of a king. Why did he become a total beggar? Why did he give up all his riches? Today we see in news, this person has got campus selection, 2 crores per year salary, 1.5 crores per year salary, $100,000 salary. So we are running after money. What will you do if you get so much salary? You can't live in 10 houses at once. You can't wear 20 dresses at once. You can't eat, for one meal, you can't eat 10 meals. But your stomach is so small. Your body is only single. You can live in only one place. You can't divide your body into small, small pieces and go to 10 houses. So we are running after money too much because we are greedy. So we learn mental strength. A person who has everything and can give up everything in search of truth. And that is the example of Gautama Buddha. Look at the mental strength of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. You find that he is willing to give up everything. He says, I don't want anything. I only want devotion to Mother Kali. He says, Mother, I'm your child. I don't want anything. People were willing to give him everything. A Marwari devotee came and said, I will put many, lakhs of rupees in the bank account and give it to you. Sri Ramakrishna says, no, I can't even touch money. So he had so much mental strength to refuse if people gave him also. So his disciple, Swami Vivekananda, wanted to test him. He says, okay, my guru is saying he can't touch a coin, he can't touch money. I will test him. So in the bed, under the bed, he put one coin. Sri Ramakrishna sat on that bed and then he jumped out. He said, oh, my body is burning. Because one day he took coin and he took mud. He said, coin is the same as mud. He took sand and soil, near the Ganga. And he threw off all the money by saying, I don't want this. Because to give up, we require mental strength. Now look at in the pandemic, we are not able to give up. He says, oh, I can't eat outside. I can't go to a hotel. So I'm very unhappy. We are not able to give up. Oh, I can't go to the mall. Malls are, closed for lockdown. Or even if mall is open, I might get infection. So I'm so sad. See, we are not able to give up. We want everything. People who like to travel, they say, oh, in February, it is very less. Let me go and travel. By traveling, by doing all this, they brought India to this situation. They have brought our country to a very crisis situation because they did not have mental strength. So mental strength requires that we are able to understand where we should use the energy and where we should not use the energy. When Vivekananda went to the USA, many people said he was excellent. They praised him. They said he's the best speaker in the parliament. But there were many others who said many bad things about him, about his character. How did Swami Vivekananda face all this trouble? He used his mental strength. So great people have had a lot of difficulties. You cannot say they did not have difficulties. People who lived in the World War I and World War II, if you read their stories, you will find how much mental strength they had to use. So all of us need to use our mental strength. So today, the first thing you have to do is you have to recognize your mental energy. Now you are concentrating. You are listening to what I have said. So what are you doing? You're using your mental energy for concentration. Now you might use suddenly your mental energy, you might use to think, what will I do after this session is over? So you are still using mental energy, but you are not using it for concentration. You are using it for distraction. You are thinking of something else. So the mental energy is constant, but its use is different. So the first point, now I'm going to tell you for about 20 minutes, some strategies how to use your mental energy. So first I told you, before you start, you check your mental energy. Do I have mental energy? Yes. Everybody has mental energy. When you're sleeping, when you're studying, when you're talking, when you're resting, when you're enjoying, all the time mental energy is there with you. But we are not using that mental energy properly. That is why, since we are not using it properly, I would like you to first recognize your mental energy. There is no mirror. I can't say, go and look at the mirror. You will be able to see your mental energy. There is no mirror. You have to go inside yourself and check what is your mind doing? How is it doing? Because it has energy. A person who has no energy cannot move. So if mental energy is not there, our thoughts cannot move. So I hope you remember, I gave you 3 ideas: hope and faith and selflessness. I gave you some examples, and now I'm coming to give you the strategies for improving your mental strength. Now I'm talking only about the pandemic. That is only about now, 2021. I don't know how it will be. After July, we may have no more pandemic. After December, we may have no more pandemic. Nobody knows anything. So we have to be prepared. But if you cultivate mental strength, now you have a lot of time. Because of the pandemic, we have more time. So if you build up your mental strength now, what will happen to you in future? When the pandemic is over and you go on to a life, you will become successful. Mental energy properly used becomes mental strength. A person who has mental strength is a successful person. A person who's mentally weak can never succeed. That person can never go forward. So we have to become mentally strong. And that is why we have to use the energy properly. Now, the first point which I'm giving you, I am going to give you some 7 or 8 points. Each of you, since it is on YouTube, I'm sure you can listen many times, or you can note down and practice. Remember, my telling you is not going to improve your mental strength. You have to do it and see. If somebody says, if you eat good food, then you will become very strong, that word will not make you strong. You have to eat the food. Like that, I'm giving you food for your mind. Once you eat this food, that means you absorb what is being said. You practice it. Then you will become mentally strong. You will use your energy properly. So the point number 1 is use your mental energy productively. Productive means what? That it is somewhat useful to you and to others. Sometimes it is useful to you and harmful to others. That is not called productive. Sometimes it hurts you, but it helps others. That might be selflessness. So to use something productively means that you get a good result out of it. You know, if you go to a factory, what you see? All the things are coming out prepared. That is called production. So from that word production, same word, productive. Productive means some good result comes out of it. So use your mental energy in the pandemic so that good result comes. Instead, what are we doing? We are using the mental energy for a bad result. We say, oh, pandemic is terrible. Everybody is putting fear into us. Somebody told me that if you take the vaccine, you will die in 2 years. I said, oh, I'm so happy. Goodbye. I have taken both doses of the vaccine. So imagine, I'm using mental strength mental energy positively to tell them that that is not correct. That is only fake news. So much fake news comes to us, and we all believe that, and mental energy becomes less. Mental energy becomes unproductive, and we become mentally weak. So don't do that. Try to think those thoughts. Try to put your mind in those things which get a positive result. From the morning till the night, only do things which get a positive result. And this will all come from your mental energy. Then you have focus only on positives. You know, we all focus on negatives. Oh, I'm so unhappy. I can tell you, 14 months I haven't gone out of my house. I'm staying at home because I'm very old. I should not go and catch the infection. So I have to stay at home. Now I can say, oh, 14 months. I did not go anywhere. Earlier, I used to go out every day. Today, I have not gone. So I can think of negatives. I'm so sad. I'm so unfortunate. My luck is terribly bad. That is, negative thought. Poor people have real suffering. So you and I don't have, because we are getting food to eat. We have food. Think of those people who don't have food. You are able to attend an online lecture. Think of the thousands and thousands of people like you, your age group, who cannot attend this online lecture. So shouldn't you be positive? There is a beautiful song which we used to sing. It is a Christian hymn. You can get it on YouTube. You can listen after you finish watching this. It is called Count Your Blessings. Count, count 1, 2, 3, 4. Your blessings, name them one by one. And it will surprise you what the Lord has done. We have beautiful mantras, positive mantras in our own religion. Listen to these mantras and see. When you say Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, what are you saying? You are giving a positive thought. You are directing your mind to positives. Instead of worrying, who is ill, who is unwell, who is in the hospital, you can chant some mantras. You have beautiful mantras which are there for chanting. So what are you doing? You are using your mental energy, but you are directing towards positive. Fear makes us negative. So we should conquer this fear by our faith. And this faith in every religion you have, in every idea you have, when you hear the mosque giving azan so many times, you are reminded of God. You might not follow Islam. You might not belong to that religion, but it brings to mind a positive by saying somewhere, someone is praying to God. So these ideas, when you keep in mind, let me do something which is good, productive. Let me think something which is positive, something which is not harmful, something which is not hurting myself or others. If you can do that, that is the second point. First point, productivity. Second point, positives. Then you have to have the third point. Find motivation. In the pandemic, maximum problem is motivation. We have in Ramakrishna Mutt, VIHE, Vivekananda Institute. That institute is doing free online counseling. Swami Bodhamayanandaji is doing this project. We are all helping. Every day some mail comes from students who are highly educated. They are all studying in the best colleges in India. But they have no motivation. They are saying, it is terrible. I feel very depressed. I feel very anxious. I'm not getting a job. I'm not able to concentrate and study. I can't do anything. So what you have to do? You have to find motivation in everything that you are doing. If you're drinking a glass of water, be highly motivated that, yes, water is good for me, so let me enjoy drinking the water. You say, oh, I don't want to drink water. I want only, coconut water. I want juice. I can't buy in the lockdown. We are all the time thinking what we don't have. We have to motivate ourselves with what we have. Everybody always says, I don't have time. I don't have time. Now in the pandemic, we have so much time. So what are we saying? We're saying, oh, we have too much time. We are getting bored. Now see, we have to find motivation. You say, oh, there is so much time. So let me do some online course. All the best universities in the world are giving free online courses in these 2 years. In my old age, I started learning Sanskrit. Somebody started learning Spanish. Somebody started learning Urdu. Everybody is doing some work because time is there. We can do a lot of good work. So find motivation in simple jobs. If you want, you can do some activity, do a little bit of gardening, put some seeds. If you put some kothmeer or pudina also, you can eat at home. Not necessary to do big garden of mango tree, which will come many years later. Small things you do. Clean your own place, your own room. Help people at home or help people who are needy. Don't waste time. Use small jobs, but use it for becoming motivated. Find it interesting. Every day we have to eat, but we have to be motivated while we are eating. Otherwise, we will have problem in the stomach. No digestion will come. So in the mind also, we have to think like that every little task should be motivating. Whatever you don't like doing, you should do again and again so that becomes your motivation. Oh, I don't like cleaning. I don't like studying. I don't like doing anything serious. That if you feel, then do those things more and more. And you will find that your motivation comes from things which you didn't like earlier. Now you love it. I will give you my own example. 40, 50 years back, I used to say, I will never teach. All my life, I was a teacher. I taught in a private college. I taught in the university for 30 years. After retirement, I'm still teaching. I'm taking sessions every day. Now, what did I do? I started enjoying what I said I will not do. I said I will never teach. Now I enjoy it. Talking to all of you, I'm enjoying myself. I don't know if you are enjoying yourself, but I'm enjoying. So that is motivation. I feel motivated by doing things which I earlier did not like. You have to do the same thing like that. Then you have to have habits which are disciplined. One way of becoming mentally strong is to have energy discipline. You must have discipline of energy, where to spend, how much to spend. I have seen students, many students love to watch cricket matches. So if an assignment is given, they keep the assignment. They watch the match first. Then the assignment they complete in small time, they do badly and they get a 0. So what is discipline? Discipline is that tomorrow is a match. So you finish your assignment today. Do it nicely, finish it. And then tomorrow with a relaxed mind, you watch the match. I'm not saying you should not enjoy yourself. Enjoy. Do everything which you want to do. Have free time. Talk to friends. Do everything. But don't do in an indisciplined way. Many people in the pandemic are saying that we spend all our time in looking at the smartphone. Hours and hours we are wasting only with the smartphone. In the process, we are not doing anything else. We are becoming lazy and so on. So what is required? Mental discipline. You make a timetable by saying, every day I will devote 2 hours to my cell phone. Every day I will devote 1 hour to entertainment. I will watch television or do something, listen to music or play if you have any, indoor games and so on. Remember, pandemic situation, we have to adjust our activities to the pandemic. So don't forget the pandemic. Do everything, cultivate discipline of the pandemic. The greatest discipline which would have saved 2-3 lakh lives was the COVID appropriate behavior. If every Indian had followed what, as soon as you touch your phone, the message comes, wash your hands, wear a mask, keep distance. If we had done all these things, if all the 1.4 billion people in India had done this absolutely correctly, we could have saved all the loved ones who have died. Remember that 3-4 lakh people who have died have left at least 20-30 lakh people crying for them. The person who's gone is gone, but imagine the families, the small children who have become orphans, think of them. So what happened? Only because of indiscipline, we brought this on ourselves. We lost all COVID discipline and we came to this situation. Now, the whole world is saying that the worst affected country in the whole world is India. How did it happen? India was doing so well in 2020. Why in 2021 we became like that? The one word here is mental discipline. Unless we have mental discipline, we cannot have physical discipline because the mind tells the body what to do. Therefore, cultivate mental discipline. Keep the pandemic in mind and learn discipline. This will help you lifelong. And then, of course, you have to be very creative also. If you do the same thing again and again, you get bored. The pandemic is making us do the same thing. But see how creative they are. Earlier in 2020, it was called lockdown. This time, they called it relock. The same thing, we can't go out of the house. Some restrictions are there. But they didn't say lockdown, they called it relock. So this is creativity in words. Same thing, but creative. Similarly, if you see how we eat, the same dal, the same pappu, the same rice every day, but we prepare it differently and we eat. So your mental energy should help you to go into creative channels. That is, make something new out of those things which are very old also. Even if you are doing things which are very old, do it in such a way that there is a newness, there is an excitement, there is some benefit. And that is what is called creative use of mental energy. Creative use gives you a lot of strength. Unless you have this creative use of mental energy, you cannot build up mental strength. Your own mind will make you weak. Somebody's mic is on, so please put it off. I have 2-3 more points I would like to share. Then I will end the session. Now, one way of building up your mental energy, making your mental strength, is to listen or to read good things. Listen on YouTube. Beautiful things are there on YouTube. I saw that, some elderly people, they were getting bored. They said, we have nothing to do. Then I searched for beautiful videos and I forwarded it to them by saying, see, there is one Divyananda Prana Mataji in Delhi, Sharada Math. She speaks beautifully in English. You find on YouTube. You can listen to them. There is somebody in New York, Vedanta Center. Again, very young Swamiji. Vedanta Center is Ramakrishna Math only. Outside India, it's called Vedanta Center. That is Swami Sarvapriyanandaji. Also a youngster like many of you. Beautiful English speeches. Of course, he speaks in Bengali also. You cannot understand, maybe most of you, but English. Like that, if you search Advaita Ashram, again, another branch of Ramakrishna Math, they have so many lectures. You have Brahmakumaris who are giving lectures. These are all positive thoughts. You might listen, you might follow, or you might elevate your own mind. You need not follow everything. Your mind becomes positive. Reading good things. So many good ideas come. Today, everybody sends a good morning greeting on WhatsApp. Some of the thoughts are so beautiful. The picture is beautiful. The thoughts are so beautiful. We can learn by reading them, by listening to them, we can learn. Sometimes long posts come. We get bored. We say, I can't read such a long post. Then we have to have patience. So we read the long post and we find it's a very positive story. So many such things are there on Facebook. They are there on WhatsApp and other social media also. Equally on social media, there are so many terrible things. So we are more interested in those. The mind becomes weak. If we constantly listen to propaganda, if we constantly listen to negatives, then our mind becomes weak. So we should choose what we read, we should choose what we listen to, and in this way, make our mind very strong. Now, you have to, like I told you, faith means not only faith in God. In the beginning of the lecture, I told you, faith means faith in yourself. So try to be kind to yourself. Many of us are torturing ourselves now by saying, I'm useless, I'm good for nothing, I can't do this, I can't do that, and so on. Therefore, what you need to do is you need to be kind to yourself. And the same kindness you have to extend to others also. You're being kind to yourself and cruel with others. That is not good. All of you who are watching now YouTube, you might like some self-improvement videos. Weekly I'm doing self-improvement videos for Ramakrishna Math Pune. This is YouTube channel called Human Excellence Ramakrishna Math Pune, Pune. There Swamiji is there, Sri Kantanandaji, he told me to do. So I think 13 or 14 videos are over. You can watch. By watching, you will get many ideas. And then when you get those ideas, you can multiply and make your own ideas. Don't listen to my ideas. Take my ideas as the foundation and then build a beautiful building with your own ideas. Self-improvement. That comes from mental strength. See, the pandemic has given us so many advantages. It has given us so many opportunities. Earlier, nobody would have told me, like your sir has asked me to speak today on Zoom. He would not tell me to speak on Zoom like this. Nobody would have so much access to, online lectures, videos on YouTube, etc. So pandemic has disadvantages, it has advantages. We should make use of the advantages. That shows mental strength. We should ignore the disadvantages, because when we have disadvantages only, we think of disadvantages only, we make ourselves weak. We don't want to be weak, we want to be strong. So how are we going to make ourselves strong? We are going to make ourselves strong by self-effort, by self-improvement. That is why I told you about these videos. If you feel, you can watch all of them. Every week I'm continuing to doing them. Now, the last point I want to make When we look after our body, we take care of it very nicely. Now, what we do? We clean and bathe our body. We decorate it nicely so that we look smart. We wear clean clothes. We keep good hygiene. We feed our body nicely, good food 4 times a day. Then we give comfort to our body, fan and AC and things like that. Then we give exercise to the body, morning walk or yoga. All these things we are doing for the body. So our physical energy is becoming very good. All these help us in physical energy. What about the mental energy? What about mental strength? What food are you giving to your mind? What cleanliness are you giving to your mind? What abilities are you giving to your mind? These things you have to see. Are you giving it proper rest, proper exercise, different varieties of work? Different things. If we do, the mind remains very strong. If you keep doing monotonously the same thing, then the mind becomes weak. So as you want to use your mind, in all activities, we need to use our mind. A person who loses the mind loses life also. Without the mind, we have no life. So since mind is our instrument, it is the most powerful instrument which will help us to become better. We have to be mentally strong. The pandemic has given us the situation to become mentally strong. That is why I'm talking about the pandemic so much, because here is an opportunity which we never got in our lives. And hopefully, praying to God, we will never get again in our lives. So make the best use of the pandemic. And if you make use of the pandemic well, by looking after your own development, this is very important. Now, there is one thing, counseling and development and discipline. This question has come, I can see on the chat box. And, key skills we need to learn. The LSRW skills also we need to learn. Yes, many. Just now I saw a video, I don't know, I think it's on YouTube. Skills required for the pandemic. Some lady from a foreign university, I think, is talking. It's a small video, beautiful video. I would like all of you to search that and see. So, Giridhar sir, please search and share with all the participants of Vijay Bhava so that they can also see. Skill by skill, it is mentioned and explained. It's a very nice video. Many times people are talking about the pandemic. They are comparing it to Spanish flu, which was 1918, 1918 to 1920. So we had 2020 to 20 ongoing now. Therefore, key skills, you can find plenty of material on that. Of course, when I spoke to you about counseling, I was mentioning a specific program. This is Atma Shraddha. This Atma Shraddha is what is being done by Ramakrishna Math, Hyderabad, Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence. Usually for counseling, people have to pay a lot of money. In Ramakrishna Math, whatever is done, they don't take money. So this is free counseling session. We are getting people from Canada, people from, Sharjah, people from different countries also. Youngsters like you, not only, Indian students. Others are also making use of this. So Swami Bodhamayanandaji has started this counseling session. Many people are taking up this counseling. A few of us who are associated with Vivekananda Institute for the past 21 years, we are helping Swamiji in doing these counseling sessions online. It is one-to-one. It is not like a group like we are doing now. It is one person to one person, like that. That is what I meant, and counseling. Now, discipline to link to counseling, very important that most of the people who are coming for counseling, who are sending, a mail saying, I want counseling from VIHE, they are asking because they have lost their mental discipline. If they have discipline, then they don't need outside counseling. They can counsel themselves. Sri Ramakrishna said, your mind is your best teacher. That is important. Now, many of you are watching my impact videos. Impact videos are very old. I think in the last 1 year, in April last year, I did for impact. After that, I have not done. Many, many recent videos are there, but I think if you search by my name, you might not be able to find them. You have to know the channel. That is why I gave you this, many colleges are putting it on their college site. So only those who want to learn English can go to impact. But learning English is not the only thing in the pandemic. A person who knows excellent English is also not able to handle the pandemic. People who are well-versed in English, they know excellent LSRW, they are also feeling depressed and, committing suicide in the pandemic. So we require pandemic behavior. We require pandemic mental attitude. That is why I gave you, the idea. Now, with our Vijay Bheri sir's WhatsApp I have, so I will pass on my self-improvement video links to you. He will share with all of you. You can do that. Then not only mine, you can go to self-improvement, anything you can do. Now, what you have to do is, usually when I speak to you, I have this doubt that maybe my English is difficult and, it is for you, you can't understand. I can always say that, those who are putting the YouTube video, you know very well how to edit it. So put the Telugu, subtitle also, translate it. So whoever is doing has to know good English, good Telugu. It will be a wonderful exercise in the pandemic because you're using a very creative thing to do. Then whoever is listening to the English can learn English and, they can also understand it first by looking at the Telugu subtitle, and then they can follow the English also. So they will get double benefit. One is they understand what I'm saying, and then they listen to the English and they learn the English. So I will say thank you to all of you. Namaste. And I wish you all the best. Make the best of the pandemic.
నమస్కారం అమ్మ, చాలా సంతోషం. ప్రస్తుత సిచ్యువేషన్ లో ప్రజలంతా కూడా ఒక రకమైన మానసిక ఆందోళనతో గురవుతున్నారు. తర్వాత చాలా మంది వృత్తిపరంగా కూడా వాళ్ళ పనులు చేసుకోలేక ఇంట్లోనే గృహ నిర్బంధంగా ఉన్న పరిస్థితి. దాని దృష్ట్యానే నిన్న ఉదయ్ కుమార్ గారు, మీకు తెలిసే ఉండొచ్చు, విశాఖపట్నం నుంచి, ఈ రోజు సుద్దాల అశోక్ తేజ గారు సాయంత్రం, రేపు వంగపల్లి విశ్వనాథం గారు, ఉదయం మీరు ఎన్ని సెషన్స్ కూడా కొనసాగిస్తూ ఉన్నాం. అద్భుతమైన స్పందన ఉంది. సుమారు 1000కి పైన ఎక్కువ మంది వ్యూవర్స్ కూడా చూస్తున్నారు. మా ఉద్దేశం ఏంటంటే, ఈ సిచ్యువేషన్ లో మీలాంటి వాళ్ళు ఈ మామూలు సాధారణంగా ఉండే ప్రజలకు ఒక అవగాహన కలిగించడానికి ఒక మీడియా లాగా ఉపయోగించాలనే సదుద్దేశంతో ఇది ఏర్పాటు చేయడం జరిగింది. మీరు ఈరోజు చెప్పినటువంటి అంశాల్లో చాలా అద్భుతమైన అంశాలు. పాజిటివ్ గా ఉండాలని, హోప్ తో ముందుకు నడవాలని, వివిధ రకాల యాక్టివిటీస్ నేర్చుకోవాలని, ఏది కావాలంటే అది నేర్చుకునే అవకాశాలు యూట్యూబ్ ద్వారా ఉన్నాయి, అవి నేర్చుకొని క్రియేటివ్ గా ఉండమని, తర్వాత ఫెయిత్, నమ్మకాన్ని పెంపొందించుకోవాలి, ప్రతిరోజు సెల్ఫ్ ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్ కోసం ప్రయత్నించమని మీరు చెప్పినటువంటి అన్ని అంశాలు కూడా చాలా అద్భుతంగా ఉన్నాయి. అవి దాని ద్వారా మనకు ఉండేటటువంటి ఇప్పుడున్న పాండమిక్ సిచ్యువేషన్స్ లో మనం ఓవర్కమ్ చేయొచ్చు అని చెప్పినటువంటి మీ మాటలు మమ్మల్ని అందరినీ కట్టిపడేశాయి. మీ మాటలు వింటుంటేనే మేము అంతకుముందు LSRW అలాంటి వీడియోలు అన్ని చూసాము. మీ ప్రత్యక్ష వేదికలో కూడా మీ స్పీచెస్ విన్నాము. అందులో హైదరాబాద్, వేరే వేరే లొకేషన్స్ లో కూడా, వరంగల్ వచ్చాము, ఖమ్మం కూడా వచ్చాము. ఆ వీడియోలన్నీ చూసి ఇన్స్పైర్ అయ్యాం మేమంతా కూడా. థ్యాంక్ యూ అమ్మా, ధన్యవాదాలు.
ఒక క్వశ్చన్ ఉందని రాస్తున్నారు చాట్.
అడగండి.
Namaskaram, madam. Very good afternoon. Happy afternoon, ma'am. I'm following from the last 7 years your YouTube impact videos, and I'm sharing my students also. I'm the professor of NVR Engineering College. Even I'm afraid of grammar, madam, because I'm afraid of how to pronounce some grammar words. How can we overcome the problem? Grammar. So glamour is glamour.
Yes. Don't worry about grammar. Try to learn it like you learned your mother tongue. Mother tongue, we never learned grammar from a book. We learned only by listening to people, by speaking wrong grammar, etc. So in English also, suppose you listen on and on and on. For 7 years, suppose you listened. Then don't listen to the same thing only. Listen to a variety of people speaking and writing. When you do that, normally your grammar develops. Even if you don't know a language, if you listen to it for 6 months, you can approximately understand that language. Now if you go to a television channel of a language you don't know, suppose Gujarati or Marathi, then after, if you watch for 6 months, by listening, you can guess the meaning of the words. So human mind is like that. Learning grammar from books and improving speaking is not possible. By learning grammar from books, you learn formal English. That is, you learn what is used for formally writing, etc. For that, learning from a grammar book is enough. But for speaking English, for improving your spoken English, learning from a grammar book is not very useful. Many people, our students who get full marks in a grammar test, sometimes speak bad English, sometimes hesitate, they make grammatical mistakes. Therefore, what we need to do is we need to, learn grammar naturally. And that natural learning is exposure to more and more of the language. If it is English, try to spend more and more time with English, listening and reading, then your grammar will automatically improve. Even if you read a grammar book cover to cover 100 times, you will not be able to improve your spoken English by that method. That method does not help in speaking. In writing, it helps a lot.
Yes, ma'am. We need to learn from English, from mother language, Telugu. I think sometimes we are not able to pronounce psychologistic, some medical, biological words. Yes. How can we practice some typical words in daily life? How can we pronounce? Right.
It is there. See, now you have dictionary.com. So you type that word in Google and go to dictionary.com. There is a mic symbol. You press that mic, it will say loudly. You press it 5 times, 10 times, you say it loudly. Then, your ear is hearing your pronunciation. When your ear is hearing your pronunciation, it will improve. Whereas if you learn phonetics only, speech sounds, etc., what we teach our MA students, that does not help to improve pronunciation. You have to do self-improvement. That is the word I'm using again and again. Sit with 5 words which you don't know how to pronounce. Put it on Google search, go to dictionary.com. Today, if you buy a dictionary also, they are giving you a pronunciation CD. So physical dictionary also has it, or Google search also has it. Immediately you click that mic sound symbol and you will hear the pronunciation loudly. Hear it 5 times, pronounce it 20 times. You will never make a mistake in pronouncing that word again. Simple words like, many people mispronounce the alphabet A. In a sentence, it is pronounced as It is not pronounced as A. So I cannot say a lecture. I have to say a lecture. These things you will understand only when you have more and more time spent with listening to English. We don't listen to English. We listen to meaning. That I have said in my impact videos hundreds of times. That we only listen to meaning. We never listen to language. Now stop listening to meaning only and try to listen to language. That is one thing you can do. I hope you don't mind if I end the session now, because I have another session also after this.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Namaste. All the best to all of you.
But one more question, ma'am. Physics, many of the students don't know Bhautikam means physics and Rasayanam means chemistry.